Hello, it's time for Highwide News, and today we're talking about a new bridge and new infrastructure over the Columbia River crossing. Well, this right here is a picture that we've seen before, perhaps. It is the third bridge corridor, also known as the Northwest Passage. Here is the passage that is attached to I-5. In Vancouver, at Mill Plain and I-5, it's a brand new freeway. 6-lane freeway that goes into the port of Vancouver. It comes down and across to Jansen Beach at bare vacantly publicly owned land, around Smith and Bybee Lake west, heading over to Highway 30, all bare vacant publicly owned land. This direction right here is a tunnel that goes into Swan Island, giving Swan Island a second way out and giving traffic a chance to go north into our industrial areas. So, what happens when we have a new third bridge? Well, the first thing is, the more bridges you have, the more safety you have. We know that the bridges that we currently have are structurally sufficient, I-5 and I-205, and meet all requirements. However, they are over capacity. We have fewer bridges in our area than similar sized cities. This map shows the area that is on the Northwest Passage as far as how it looks when you talk about the actual land. As you see, Jansen Beach, bare, vacant, publicly owned land. Here you have two buildings that are already demolished and for sale. The rest of this part of the freeway is all on bare, vacant, publicly owned land. And again, here as it goes across. Now, I keep saying bare, publicly owned land for a reason. That is, I-5 itself is highly urbanized. This bare, vacant, publicly owned land not only gives us the opportunity to use the land as part of the financing to pay for a new bridge, freeway corridor. What that means is the federal government has you put in a part of local funds called local matching funds to help pay for what you bring in. If you have this highly valuable land, such as we have here, that can be used as part of our matching funds, it means less dollars out of our pocket. It also means several great things as far as construction. Well, when you have the bare vacant land, you have no eminent domain such as you would have in a highly urbanized, expensive land area such as next to I-5. This bare vacant publicly owned land means that you can build on it 24 hours a day because it is not in a neighborhood. It also means you're not having any intrusion with the current infrastructure. No flaggers, no closing of streets, no added congestion, no added pollution. Instead, you have a continual ability to build uninterrupted. When you don't have to remove property and go through eminent domain, you can go directly to construction immediately. So instead of having to wait until people have lost their homes and it's been taken by the government through eminent domain and purchased and moved, and then they have removed what's on the property and scraped the land off, that can take not only months but years. Instead, these jobs can start immediately. You don't even have to wait till 2/12 to start them immediately. And as I've stated before, by being inside an industrial area and away from the neighborhoods here and here, you can build 24 hours a day. When you build infrastructure into ports, you actually can get more money from the federal government. You get higher points and are rated better because they know that infrastructure into our ports and industrial areas, especially something that will connect the ports and industrial areas on one continuous corridor and to I-5, this means that there's more dollars available. This dollar amount that can be made available by the federal government when you add infrastructure is important. Every dollar that we don't have to put into it really makes a difference. When you add infrastructure into the business areas, this is Rivergate, Port of Vancouver, this which is the Port of Portland, and this which is the Port of Portland, you have the ability to ask businesses, hey, you're going to get something out of this. You're going to be able to have more businesses here. You're going to be able to get around easier, and wouldn't you like to be involved in having better infrastructure? It's called public-private partnership. Public-private partnership means a business can donate services, goods, or money and set up bonds and have the money directly paying for this infrastructure now, while it's less expensive, while employment is needed and employment dollars are down, steel is down, and materials are down. So businesses put a certain amount of money in, say $1 million, and then they can amortize it off of their taxes for 20 or 30 years. This means that we have the money now, while we build now. We don't have to pay for the interest of a great big loan, and we can pay back in small amounts the interest amortized over their taxes. The importance of that is when you bring infrastructure into this area where there is 1,000 acres of buildable land, more businesses will come. The more businesses that come there, the more taxes they pay. So the small amount of money that you're paying on the interest to the businesses who have helped fortify the area is easily returned. When you look at an area like this, you also have the ability to do one of my favorite things, which is put it on eBay and sell the bridge piece by piece. Somebody wouldn't be able to buy the whole thing. They wouldn't be in charge of the insurance, and they wouldn't have other issues that can be with owning a bridge. What they would have is a certificate saying, I own a bridge or part of a bridge. The St. John's Bridge was sold just that way, built in 1931 during the height of the Depression by the boosters, or at least pushed forward by the St. John's boosters, because the city of Portland and Multnomah County continued arguing so much, they said, we're fed up with the guys, let's go forward. And they did. They sold bonds, $10, $20, sometimes as much as $300. Many people were so proud of being able to help with this gorgeous historic bridge that they kept their bonds and didn't ever turn them back in. So, investing in infrastructure is something businesses have done all along and something we need to do now.